What exactly did Trump say?
Sandy, the president, he was nice. But in his Trumpian way, he did say that the top two candidates hated him after all of his trolling and threats to take over Canada. Still, Trump seemed respectful, saying he congratulated Prime Minister Carney on his win, even called him a gentleman, and looks forward to making a trade deal, saying he'll meet with the Prime Minister in person very soon. Here's the president.
Well, I think we're going to have a great relationship. He called me up yesterday. He said, "Let's make a deal." You know, he was running for office. They both hated Trump, and it was the one that hated Trump, I think, the least that won. I actually think the conservative hated me much more than the so-called liberal. He's a pretty liberal guy. But no, I spoke to him yesterday. Couldn't have been nicer, and I congratulated him. You know, it was a very mixed signal because it's almost even, which makes it very complicated for the country. It's a pretty tight race, but he's a very nice gentleman, and he's going to come to the White House very shortly, within the next week or less.
Positively congenial. You're absolutely right, Joy. You know, it's hard to predict what that meeting might look like, but I suppose we can base it on what we've seen recently when other leaders have come to the White House, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, past presidents have put on a show for visiting Canadian prime ministers. I remember when President Obama and Prime Minister Trudeau were both of them were here, and there was this big military parade, a state dinner, and jokes about hockey and milk in bags. Now, when world leaders visit the White House now, there's a lunch and a photo op in the Oval Office, and that becomes kind of a de facto press conference. Britain's prime minister came with gifts and a personal invitation from Prince Charles. Other foreign leaders use flattery, and some have even shown defiance, like Ukraine's President Zelensky. But after Trump's threats to Canada's sovereignty, navigating this new relationship with President Trump, it's going to be tricky. We know that Trump likes a win. So when Trump said that the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, proposed making a deal, that is music to this president's ears, who's in a bitter trade war with the world.